once in a bluegrass band.
I was once in a bluegrass band.
I brought that up before. But let me bring something else up. How about blues music? What do you know about the blues? Do you listen to the blues? You ever played the blues? I mean, give me something. Who do you know that fits in that genre? The blues.
I mean, I have listened to the blues. I've never been a blues connoisseur, but I've had some Stevie Ray Vaughan in my life at moments and some B.B. King in my life at moments. Really enjoyed a movie here the other day. I'll never think of the name of it, but it was sort of a loose interpretation of the whole Robert Johnson story. More recently, I do enjoy blues scales, and I'm going to get out into deep water that I don't understand here pretty quick, but I don't know if it's a pentatonic scale or what it is that just creates this emotion in music, and that's a lot of times the characteristics that we would call the blues. You hear it in a lot of, especially you spend much time around country music and especially bluegrass music, you will trip across some of that. I was listening to a song yesterday. It's Oliver Anthony's latest song. Not a huge Oliver Anthony fan, but he has a song right now that it has some pretty controversial lyrics about it, but it also has a mean, driving blues feel. The song is called Hank, and he sounds just like Hank Jr. when he sings it, and he's singing about Hank Sr., and it really has those emotion-evoking jumps in scales, and he does a pretty good job of singing it, and he plays it on essentially a resonator guitar, so that kind of adds to that flavor.
Is there a blues guitar, or can you just use an acoustic guitar to play the blues? Tell me something I don't know.
No, I wouldn't say that there is a blues guitar, because some of the oldest blues you're going to hear will be played on some form of acoustic guitar, or a flat top, as my granddad would have called it. But then you move into like the B.B. Kings and Stevie Ray Vaughns of the world, and they're playing it on like a Stratocaster or something electrified. So no. Now, there are things you can do with a guitar that sort of add to that flavor. Like you'll see a lot of people using a slide on a finger, and that gives a real and that's where Oliver Anthony playing that resonator guitar, he gets a sound that is like that without the slide. It isn't a sliding sound, but it has the highs are high, a really tingy sound to it that kind of helps him evoke whatever he's looking to evoke.
A steel guitar, isn't that a thing?
A steel guitar is a thing.
What is that?
That is you hear it a lot in probably late 70s through mid-90s country music, and it's a guitar that it's flat, but it's not a dobro. You know, it's an electric.
Nope, I don't know what a dobro is. That sounds really close to dos bros, which I like a lot.
Yeah, a dobro is a resonating guitar that you would see, instead of holding it upright like this, you would flip it down flat and play it
like in your lap,
with a slide in your lap.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You would call that a dobro. A steel guitar is the sort of electrified version of that, but I would, if I was trying to describe a steel guitar to someone who'd never seen one, I would say it's like a organ and a dobro had a baby, because there's pedals and you can transpose strings and you can make all kinds of sounds happen that you just can't do with a normal guitar. But it's if you heard a steel guitar, would you know it?
I don't know. Probably. I'll be honest with you. This is one of my thoughts in this path that we are trotting right now. I haven't seen a guitar in your hands in a while.
No?
When was the last time you had a guitar in your hands?
Probably 2 weeks ago. And then
Is there a guitar in this house?
Before that, probably 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple guitars in this house, yeah.
You want to go get one?
Like right now?
Yeah. It totally fits with what we're saying. I didn't think about it before, or else I would have asked you.
Okay. I'm going to trust you on this one.
He said yes.
You're going to talk it through while I'm
Yeah,
gone?
why not? Why not? I know my man can play. I really have not seen a guitar in his hand for a while. There was a time when he would come into my classroom, grab the guitar off the wall, and just pick and just be there and just be content. But I know this guy. I'm gonna take this idea of the blues, been talking about it in class, and just see if this guy will make a few sounds. Make a few sounds.
What kind of sounds am I making?
Blues sounds. Can you get there?
Oh, man.
Yes, just give me like...
This is like ultimate...
There's a, hey, I've got a guitar in my hand and I'm going to create a love song sound. And then there's a, hey, I'm a bluegrass player. And then, hey, I am singing the blues. Just, come on, give me something.
Man, this is like the ultimate put a guy on the spot.
Yeah, you can handle this. I believe in you.
Blues sounds?
Give me some bluegrass. Go.
Can I give you like a little mix of bluegrass,
whatever you're
blues,
about to say. Yes.
gospel?
Yes.
I used to do this song. It'd be like, I am a poor wayfaring stranger traveling through. You heard that song? This
Never in my
world
life.
of woe.
I heard poor. That's blues.
There'll be no sickness, toil or danger
Sickness, danger. That's the blues.
in that bright land of which I go.
So there's a journey, and implied in journey is the blues. I even heard wayfarer or wayfarer. What's the line?
Wayfaring stranger.
Yeah. Okay. That's singing the blues.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, Johnny Cash went to the dang prison, took his guitar. I mean, you know how many stories were in front of him?
Yeah.
I mean, plenty of material for him to pluck from that experience. But he was already bringing something in. What else you got that you know? Bluegrass. Open up your Redback hymnal. I mean, any Exodus story is a blues story.
Well, you just mentioned Johnny Cash. That's one of the first songs I ever learned to play on a guitar. Was
Give me one of those first songs.
I hear the train coming. You heard that?
Of course.
Rolling round the bend. You seen the sun shining. I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Is it time? Time keeps traveling on.
I don't know.
I'm so out of practice, man.
Eli has a train, 2 parts to a train, toy train.
Mm-hmm.
He's painting it right now, and he's painting those first 2 lines on the train as an artifact from a classroom. Like we mentioned things before, but like it's the beginning of the semester, the American story through music. We ain't going nowhere else yet. We ain't talking about the Constitution yet. We're not talking about Supreme Court cases or presidents or war heroes. We're talking music. And so right now, I mean, just we have talked about, mentioned before, I mean, there is so much of modern music, and that's called modern, like our lifetime, from grunge to emo to you playing bluegrass, but like that emotion, the kind that hits, the kind that just stirs, the kind that just it's in your gut, the kind you feel, the kind that you're still feeling it after it's over. Like that's the blues. And all of that modern music that can hit like that, I mean, it's just the blues in a different sound. You agree with that as a musician?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, any storytelling, country, hip hop, I mean, these are storytelling genres. And it's just taken the blues. It's taken Bessie Smith. It's taken W.C. Handy. And it's just, man, bringing it to life. But we get into some of these folks and we start seeing that, like, there's so many traumatic events that have happened to these people that they're just writing of their life. I'm going somewhere with this.
Can I get rid of this guitar?
No, it would be awesome if you just kept it.
Okay.
One more and I'll let you put it down. Give me something else.
What do I want to give you?
I don't know. You have any more blues on your list? Or, okay, just give me a little something of this is bluegrass, but this is blues. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, I mean, bluegrass is they're both very 3-chord dominant.
Is it about pace? Is it about how fast it's played? That would be my first thought. I mean, I've been to a bluegrass concert and saw Chris Cretton do his thing.
It can be, and it depends on who you ask.
I've seen live music walking Bourbon Street in New Orleans, and it's a much slower pace. But is that too general?
That's a little too general.
Okay, well then give me something specific.
Bluegrass, the way that sort of its founders would describe it, would have instruments and voices all in different octaves. There's this high, lonesome sound thing with it. We're using a mandolin as a percussion instrument. That's sort of a big thing that Bill Monroe does. But the speed of it can be... I mean, if you hear a driving banjo and a guitar go, and you're most likely listening to something that's at least bluegrass inspired.
I mean, I got like "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" in my brain right now.
Yeah, "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou's" pretty good.
You got something from that soundtrack that you can play?
Not right off the top of my head. "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" is there's bluegrass on that track for sure. There's also music on there I think that bluegrass people would call folk music.
Sure. What's that Alison Krauss song when they're getting baptized?
Down to the river.
Yeah.
Down to the river to pray, studying about that good old way.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
And who shall starry crown, good Lord, show me the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful song.
Yeah.
Not bluegrass.
I think if you put that in different context, it doesn't live alone as bluegrass, but when you play it with those instruments and you play it with that version of harmony, it's hard to argue that it's not.
So that harmony is a big thing in bluegrass.
Yeah.
Blues is more a solo venture. Is that too much of a generalization?
Yeah, it's too much of a generalization.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different. Both of these sort of... Now, we're saying this, and we're talking about... I keep saying that. It depends on who you ask, and I'm asking you. I'm nowhere near the professional, but both of these are very close kin.
Yeah.
There's bluegrass songs that I could take and just have someone else with a different skill set do it, and you would say that's stone cold country music. You know, they're all sort of in the same vein of hillbilly music, but
Postmodern jukebox. You ever heard of them?
Postmodern jukebox. Have you brought these people up to me before?
I don't know.
Tell me more.
Jazz covers of Guns N' Roses, jazz covers of Michael Jackson's Thriller, like uniquely American jazz music, right? New Orleans, Chicago, makes it to the Harlem Renaissance, Louis Armstrong, traveling the country. He's not the only one, but he is certainly the most famous. But they do these covers, and it ain't nothing but jazz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Prince's Purple Rain. We even listened to Super Mario Bros. In jazz, I mean, it was just fun today. But it got me thinking when you just said anyone could take this and give it their own sound. That's what they do. They take all these songs. And for some of these we listened in class, it took like 8 seconds to figure out what it was. And others, it took like 38 seconds because it was just like, man, that totally changed Bad Blood by Taylor Swift because there's just this totally, I mean, Swifties would know the lyrics, but because the sound had changed so much, the brain has a tough time processing, right?
Yeah.
I still ask you. You got to give this to me, and I'll let you lay the guitar down if you really do desire.
Okay.
Give me a blues sound then. What is blues?
It's just the most basic blues sound, and much like bluegrass, these players, these people that produce this music, they can just say, "Hey, let's just jam one out real quick." And blues players would go down to 3 chords, and they would go to this sort of this like a, and there'd be riffs everywhere that I don't have the skills to. And you can, I mean, guys will play. You hear it?
Yeah, of course I do. Yes.
And there's a.
Yes.
That's your basic blues tune. So guys that have never met each other that do this kind of music, then have skills to do it, and they practice it all the time, they can jump in something like that, and they can play some of the craziest stuff you've ever heard, and even sing some of the craziest, not crazy, but just tell stories just off the top of their head. It's much akin to like freestyle rap.
Yes.
Bluegrass is the same way melodically. Guys will jump in a whole different set, and it won't be like a minor chord or anything to do with a pentatonic scale. It'll be more major chords, but they can follow right along with it. That's what bluegrass festivals are. You just take a guitar and go walk up in a group of guys, and they're playing a song, and you jump in and you start playing with it, whether you've heard it or not.
So that improvisation is at the core.
Yeah, I mean, for real blues players, yeah, you got to be able to.
Because we talk about that with jazz, and I mean, like it's uniquely American, and but it's taken blues. I mean, even at its core, jazz is blues. Am I getting all this right?
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Okay, yeah, because I've been teaching it that way for a while.
It's like blues with a doctorate. I mean, it's
yeah, okay,
yeah.
But at its core, I mean, like it's born in the USA. Go with me on this. Because we just, last week I did my, Billy, Bob, Bruce, and Billy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA comes around, like that is an American song. It's not a patriotic song. It's not a love of country song. It is a reality check for the country when you get into the lyrics, when you get beyond the chorus. Because, I mean, what an anthem. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. It's stirring. But once you get into, like, if you contemplate and reflect on the actual storytelling, this is a hard one to handle, especially if it's 1984 and you're hearing it for the first time, not for the 20th time just on July 4th. I mean, it's that tribute.
Yeah.
But it's a blues song. It's a rock and roll song, but it's that storytelling of this is the hardships, this is the difficulties. And it's not like the motivational, desirable difficulties we sometimes talk about. No, this is just I was born into this family, I was born into this situation, and my kids are probably going to be, and my grandkids are going to be, and things aren't going to change. I mean, that's the blues pit, right? Mm-hmm. But you feel it, it's guttural. This is a really sharp transition, but I'm going there. I have asked you this before, so I'm going to ask it one more time as the setup, and then I'm going to ask of particular places, and we'll see if it makes sense.
Okay.
Speaking of the blues, how do people end up in prison? I'm going to ask this as a clarifier. Is there a difference between jail and prison?
Of course.
Okay, what's the difference between jail and prison?
A jail can hold and is intended to hold like pre-sentence arrestees. Okay, so you've been arrested for a crime, and either you're being held without bond, or you can't make your bond, or you don't have a bond. You will live in a jail while your case flows through the court system until you get to either a plea agreement or a conviction at trial. And then once you're sentenced, you're typically If you're going to be doing some more time, then they'll typically seek out a bed at a prison for you to go to serve your sentence long term.
What's the nearest prison from Cleveland, Tennessee?
It's probably at Pikeville. I think it's called Southeast Regional Correctional Complex.
What do you have to do to end up there?
There's several things you could do, from, the most extreme cases. You take someone's life with malice and you're convicted of murder, and all the way down to a certain level of, repeated drug offenses. You break into somebody's home and steal their stuff or try to harm them, probably going to find yourself in a place like that.
So do you have to bring harm as well as the thievery to end up there?
No. I mean, I just explained this to my kids in class today. Burglary. What is burglary? Do you know what that is?
Steal someone's stuff?
Not really, but yeah.
Breaking someone's home?
Tennessee describes it like this: entering a place entering a habitation, entering a place other than a dwelling. This is not a house. With intent to commit a felony, theft, or assault. Okay? So if someone walks in my front door right now, uninvited, without permission, and punches me in the face, I have probable cause to charge that person with burglary.
I thought you said not a dwelling.
I'm sorry.
Mishear that?
Yeah, I missaid it.
Okay.
I just described aggravated burglary. Burglary at its core could be your car. You go through the school parking lot and feel for unlocked doors and take somebody's sunglasses out of there. That's burglary. That's auto burglary. You can go out to your neighbor's lawnmower shed. It's not his house. You could bust the lock off of that thing and take his weed eater. That is burglary.
They did it to Grandmama up in Michigan.
Yeah, that's one of the, that's drug addicts 101,
Yeah.
typically. What I described there was aggravated burglary. That's the next step up. You go into someone's house uninvited, steal something, try to assault somebody, anything like that. Now, if you don't do those things, you're talking about like an aggravated criminal trespass. But if you can show the intent to commit a felony, theft, or assault in Tennessee, that is aggravated burglary. And if you do that and are convicted of it, you're probably going to find yourself in a place like that.
Is that a state prison? Pikeville?
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
What's the nearest federal prison from Cleveland, Tennessee?
I could be corrected on this, but I would say USP Atlanta, United States Penitentiary.
So Atlanta.
Yeah.
What would I have to do in order to not go to Pikeville but go to Atlanta? How does that change? Who am I committing the crime against to end up somewhere there?
It could be similar crimes. If you're doing anything that is interstate, meaning you're crossing straight lines, you're bringing a pound of heroin from a hub in Atlanta up, you cross over into Tennessee, and it's very likely that you're going to get involved. But you could get involved without that. I mean, if you do that intrastate and you do it in the possession of a firearm, it's likely that an ATF agent or a TBI agent may take over your case and put you into a federal court.
So me breaking into your house isn't going to send me to Atlanta?
Typically not.
Okay.
Typically not.
What am I going to have to do then? I break into your house, I take something. Now I'm traveling up and down 75, selling stolen goods from all the houses that I've broken in and hurt people.
It could be that we could get a federal agency involved and they take your case and they charge you in a federal court.
What's that relationship between state police and these other federal organizations? Are those typically good ones in your experience?
Fantastic, yeah.
Then why do we see so often in like movies and shows where like there's always this tension of like, don't take my case? Is that a real thing?
Well, even in a fantastic relationship, egos are involved.
So that is a real thing. You ever experienced it or seen it? I mean, I don't need details. I just
No, I would not in the way that you're talking about.
yeah. That's
I'm
just
not.
drama.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It very well could exist. But I mean, myself, and the biggest place I bumped into it was in drug investigations. I would have a drug investigation that would meet a certain criteria, and maybe a DEA agent or even a TBI representative or somebody would want to take that case over. And I always looked at that as a good thing. I always wanted to, because if it met that criteria and they were interested enough in it, I felt like that was probably the best way for that justice to take place. But I mean, maybe there's people that don't feel that way, but I haven't experienced it.
Yeah. We've talked Brushy Mountain.
Yeah.
I love seeing T-shirts at school, and I usually ask Brushy Mountain. They're like, "Yeah, I went to a concert."
The end of the line. Yeah.
My family went through and did the tour and all that kind of stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
so we've talked some Brushy Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw some others at you. I mean, you mentioned Folsom Prison just by a Johnny Cash song, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about? Can I just run my list just for fun, and you say, "Yeah, I know something about that," or "I don't know anything about that."
Okay.
Let's just start there. Okay. Parchman Farms.
Parchman
Farms?
Farms. I don't think so. I don't think I know. Is this in Mississippi?
I think so. Like I did a little bit of work. I made this list. It's been a while, but I returned back to it. I was looking for something for you today, and so just let's go. We're going off the top of our heads.
Okay.
You know much about Alcatraz?
No more than your average bear.
Okay. What's the average bear know?
No, they saw a movie about it.
They saw The Rock,
Yeah.
or they know about Al Capone.
Yeah, maybe.
Or did you know before that, like they would round up American Indians and go take their leaders out to the island?
No.
You
I
know,
did
a little
not
piece
know
of
that.
a little fun fact. That's not fun at all, actually. We know about Fort Laramie. It's another American Indian blues story, if you will. Angola.
Angola? It's a prison. Where's it at?
I'm asking you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, because
I
we'll
mean,
camp
the
here in a
name
second.
is recognizable to me.
Rikers.
It's New York
Yeah, you know anything
City.
about it?
New York City, isn't it? Rikers Island, you would call it. I don't know much about it.
Okay. Sing Sing.
Sing Sing, California? Question mark.
So you don't know?
I don't know much more than that.
San Quentin.
I know that Sing Sing follows. It's old. It follows. One of the most basic forms of corrections that we do in the United States started in New York, and it quickly spreads. And Sing Sing is one of the first places that says, "Yeah, we're going to build our building and run it that way."
Either you and I have talked on a microphone about this or just on a walk or a drive.
Well,
But
it's just
remind me.
It's just like Robert Peel and the boys. You're not going to talk to me about historic landmarks in the criminal justice story in the United States for too long before you at least arrive there. Now, I don't know much about Sing Sing itself. I just know that
What was prison life like before this model you're talking about? And how would you describe it the way it is today? And has it changed since then?
oh my God, yeah. I mean,
Is that a monster question I just asked?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about like the Auburn system of corrections. We're talking silence and lockstep marching, and we're still clinging on to the Quakers that believed that this sort of solitude could foster penitence, and we could jail the evil out of someone. Now, with the privilege of hindsight, we cannot. We can drive a lot of people insane, is what we can do.
How long did it take for folks to figure that out? Does it take, and humor me here because I'm teaching sociology this semester, and like there's a lot, like there's this theory that crime has its place in society because it sets the boundaries for society. Like, here's the line, don't cross the line. So crime sets those boundaries. You ever heard that before?
I don't know if I've ever heard it said exactly that way. But yeah, I mean,
Does that track at all? Does that mean?
I've heard that as an idea. I don't have anything educated to add to it.
All right, keep going about what you're saying then.
Yeah, so this...
How long did it take for us to figure out that we're driving people insane?
A long time. I think they had an idea pretty quick, and they started making little adjustments. That's why you have a Pennsylvania way of doing things, and then Auburn, New York comes along and says, hey, we can improve this. Well, they made very subtle changes. And then prisons start popping up all over the United States and even some in Europe that are trying to adopt these way of doing things because of the idea of it and the way it's ran. It's not... I mean, this is taking jails from being just some cellar in the Tower of London that's stinky and there's urine and feces on the floor to, like, this place is pretty clean and it's quiet and it doesn't stink horribly. So there are some initial benefits that you see, I'm certain, if I could have walked through that time, that made it seem like a really good idea. But over time, they've learned and they've tweaked. But it takes quite a while because you're talking, mid-early 1800s, 1820s, 1830s, and we get all the way to Brushy Mountain, which is 1890s. And there's some subtle changes that have been made, but it's still very rigid, very structured, no-nonsense way of doing things. So I wouldn't say they happen fast, but little changes happen fast. It's ever-evolving, and it has been ever-evolving all the way up into this day.
What's the most recent significant change in the prison system that you're aware of? Has it happened in your lifetime?
I would say before? I would say it was in my lifetime. I don't have a date for it, but I would say we're talking about moving from a linear jail, which is traditionally a linear prison or jail. Either one of these can be built on the same physical structure. Linear jail would be what you see on the old shows, just lines of cells with bars. You've been to Brushy. Mm-hmm. You've seen a linear built style prison, okay? It's a guard walking down through those cells and people are just in their cell, in their cell, in their cell, and then they have time at some point that they may be out during recreation time or lunch time or whatever. But the transition from that to like a direct supervision jail, and there's a couple stops in between and things that are still being worked out in certain areas of the country. One to go alongside that would be what they call podular direct. And I'll give you just a brief overview of the difference in those two. A direct supervision jail is what we have in Bradley County. You go into that cell block in the morning as a corrections officer and you hit group release, and every door in the cell block opens. Those people come down. They have a line. They have a cart full of breakfast trays. They're grabbing their breakfast tray and they go sit down and they have lunch. And for the most part of their day, they can be out in that day room, and they have access to the.
How big is that day room?
It's as big as.
In the Walker Valley Gym. Walking in there,
maybe less than that. Okay. Less than that, but it's pretty good. I would say
size of the court.
Maybe the upper gym is getting closer.
Okay, that's not a lot. How many people we got in there, on average?
Oh, anywhere from 30 to 50.
And when you say supervised, like how many badges you got in there?
One. It's your pod.
Are you in?
You're in it.
Are you mingling with these folks all day long?
Yeah. You're mingling with them, and there's routines to that. If you're doing it well, like for instance, when I was 20 years old, I'd walk in there, hit group release. Those guys come down, grab a tray, sit down. Everybody's quiet, and I read the rules. We got a set of rules.
Do you read them every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Every shift.
Because you have new folks in there every shift or
Yeah,
every day?
yeah. It's a jail, so
Okay. Yeah,
this guy may get out today, and there may be 3 more come in here.
Okay.
And it's just a reminder. You know, after you've been in there 4 or 5 days, you're tired of hearing them, but you got them memorized. And you know, some of those rules is the route. It's mostly the routine. For instance, those guys at I think it was 6 o'clock in those days. I think it's 7 now. That shift changed, but at 6 o'clock, those guys are to have their bed made, and they stay made until lights out tonight. Now you can go lay down, but you lay on top of the covers. You know, I don't know if it's still that way, but we feed them breakfast, read them the rules, and then the nurse would come along for med pass. We'd line up people that need medication. We'd line up, and you have to stand there, and they come and get their pills in a little cup of water, and they have to pour them in, and then they have to turn and show you that they swallowed them. That way they didn't hoard up their medication.
See, that's just like the movies.
Yeah. But yeah, you're in that pod with them all day. A good officer would make some cell searches during the day. You're looking for, you know, you're not going in and tossing the place necessarily, but you're looking for those items that they can't have, and most of that would be altered items.
How many times have you tossed? Is that
a bunch. Yeah. I mean, it's
because you know something or because you think something?
Sometimes it's because you know something. Sometimes it's a routine thing just to show them that you will. Mm-hmm. You know, you're a lot less likely to hoard contraband or make dangerous items out of routine everyday items if you are always of the belief that they may come in any time and search you. I know that's a wild way to look at it, but part of running a good, secure facility is being diligent to search prisoners and search.
They weren't very diligent in Shawshank.
Well, listen,
my man dug a hole.
I know.
All the way through.
I will put out this disclaimer that no matter how many guards you put and how good the security is and what routines you have, you can't stop it all. You can't. I didn't believe that as a young man. I used to think, shoot, we could lock this thing down. And we didn't. No, you can't. You just can't, especially in a jail. But prison's
because there are some prisoners who are just that smart.
Absolutely.
Or there are just some guards who are just not that good.
Both, a mix of both.
Is it going to take both for someone to escape? Or can they just be that smart?
Someone escaping...
Because that's how the movies portray it. I mean, they're that smart, they're getting out.
Someone escaping a modern jail is like Malcolm Gladwell's plane crash. There's got to be a lot of things go really right for the prisoner and really wrong for that facility.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to be... I mean, if you're digging holes in walls, which still happens, first of all, your facility's not... Maybe it's not what I'm describing as like a civilized modern jail, because typically in those kind of buildings, when you house a prisoner, they're either digging into solid concrete and they don't have the tools to do it, or they dig out of a wall and there's just another wall. You know what I'm saying? Like in the Bradley County Jail. Every wall, you know, if your cell has 4 walls, you dig out of 3 of them, you're going to find another wall. The 4th one is filled with concrete. You know what I mean?
No, because I've never been there and tried to
concrete, rebar. It's just, man, are you talking about? It'd be like trying to dig out of the tornado shelter at Walker Valley. I mean, that would be...
There you go. Now I can wrap my mind around that.
Yeah, it's a lot more... There's a lot more attention put into those exterior walls where there is going to be... a secure part of the facility just on the other side. So there's prisoners there.
Yeah, but Andy Dufresne cracked open the poop pipe and went a football field. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Is that just really good writing, or like are people willing to do such things to get out?
I mean, I'd say if it could work, they would do it.
Do you remember watching that movie for the first time?
Are we talking about Shawshank?
Yeah, of course.
Man, no.
When he climbed through that thing and he finally gets out, and that iconic, you know, he's raising his hands up to the lightning rain. I mean, watching that for the first time, I mean, that was something else, man.
But the prisoners, the part that I kind of skipped over is the prisoners are, I'll just call it intelligence. There are people who just, man, they're street smart, they're savvy, their common sense is unreal, even though it's weird to say for someone who's sitting in jail. But and all they have is time. I mean, they know your routine better than you do. They know who's working this weekend and who's off because it's their birthday, or they just know these things. And that's the scary part against it. And that's why, as part of those rules, I said a good officer would make some cell searches. Well, some people would just every day at the same time, they do the same thing. And I think the best of them kind of mix it up a little bit. I might go over here and play cards for a few minutes with these guys and then go over to the rec yard and watch these guys play handball for a couple minutes and then walk over here and search a cell and then go and do something else and then search a cell. I always liked to mix my routine up and not be super predictable.
What's the longest someone would stay at Bradley, in the Bradley County Jail? Because if you're waiting on a sentence, I mean, when we're heading to the prison, I mean, I got 5 years, I got 10, I got 25, but what's the longest someone would stay over there?
The longest prisoners that stay there would look like this. Okay, this guy comes in, and it's probably a nonviolent felony. He's not a sex offender. So even while he's pre-trial, he gets a trustee job doing laundry or cooking in the kitchen, and he's model prisoner, doesn't cause any problems. The guards like him. He's like the guy you want to work with. You know what I mean? And he has a court process that takes quite a long time. So maybe he might be here
months, and often it's muddied up by multiple cases. So maybe he's here on a violation of probation. So he can't just bond out on these new charges that he's going to court for. So he serves his sentence, he serves his probation out in jail. And by then, at some point, maybe he's to the trial process or whatever, and he gets convicted. It could be 2 years. And then he gets sentenced to 18 months remaining, and he's already the model prisoner. He's already a trustee at your jail. So you don't necessarily look for a place for him to go. That has happened, and it does happen. But your run-of-the-mill prisoner that comes in there, he gets sentenced. He sort of jumps in the queue of people that you're trying to get in a bed in a classification facility or a state facility. So whatever the backup looks like for that. And it just depends on what your jail's willing to do. Our classification facility here used to be, at one time, Brushy Mountain was one of them. In its later years, you could get beds open up and you could take newly sentenced prisoners to Brushy Mountain. The closest one to us is Southeast that I mentioned. It's up at Pikeville or Bledsoe up on the mountain. You familiar with where Taft was? Mm-hmm. It's up in that area. Okay. They're not far from each other. Sure.
So just cornfields everywhere up on the mountain. That's where they would typically get classified. But if our numbers were really hurting us and we could find beds at West High or at West Tennessee State Penitentiary on, a hop and a skip from the Mississippi River in Lauderdale County, which is one county above Shelby County, Memphis, we would take them there. That's why I've been there several times. So we would do whatever we could to get them. Now, what you do is you can imagine this just thinking through the way you would operate a school. If you have, 50 prisoners that you need to send away and you only get 10 beds, well, you would find 10 that's really causing you problems, or maybe and it could be behaviorally or medically or, some of that stuff. Now, if they're too medical, they have to go to a special place.
Let me have this moment here just a second, because you said behaviorally or medically. Because someone, that could be a big lift every single day if they have some sort of medical.
Oh, man.
Give me one example on what that would be like, because they could be a model prisoner like what you've been describing, but like, are we talking meds? Are we talking dialysis? Like, I don't know
We're
what
talking,
we're talking about.
sometimes it's medication.
Yeah.
I can remember back in the day. Now, I don't think it's this way anymore. I think there's been enough, and this is a whole side conversation, but I can remember a prisoner that was there and had full-blown AIDS, and the medications that this person had to take daily, and
I could only imagine.
and the dietary things that this person had to do were just heavy. And then, not necessarily with that prisoner, but another thing you have to think about is if you're a sheriff just trying to, it's a statutory responsibility of yours to run and operate this jail. You get someone in there that, man, I don't want them to die on me. It's a horrible way to think about it, but like, God,
Somebody has to think about it way.
I'd love to get this person somewhere else
Yeah.
to where I don't have to deal with the death of a prisoner. Now, a lot of times common sense prevails. If that's a real thing, like this person's gonna die, there'll be a judge involved somewhere that'll figure something out for this person.
Because even with your example of full-blown AIDS, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, like a common cold complicates things, or the flu complicates things, or
he was just
pneumonia complicates things, or
he was a sickly individual.
yeah, and his body had broken down.
And this is early 2000s, so I think I'm not a doctor, but I think in the timeline of AIDS advancements, that's quite a while ago. It's not 1987,
Yeah,
but it's quite a while ago.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, take me back to the pod when you were describing hitting that button. One guy, his pod, his prisoners, his checks. Were you describing how it used to be and now there is this new thing that has changed?
No.
Or were you describing the change?
Yeah, that's
From the linear to the pod.
Yeah.
And the pod was basically the innovation.
Yeah, to direct supervision.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's another way to run pods. They call it podular direct, and it's where the prisoners are out in a day room and they're doing all this, and the officer is typically in a pod in the middle or off to the side with windows. They're sort of secure from the prisoners, but they can see it. But it becomes very like now the officer becomes like this monkey in a zoo that the prisoners are just always watching and looking at. You see what I mean?
I mean, my imagination is telling me, that
yeah,
sounds terrible.
A lot of studies have shown, and in direct supervision done well, there's some real benefits to it. I mean, I want you to picture in the most advanced facilities. I want you to picture like inside the Cleveland Public Library with carpet, tables, men sitting around a table reading a book or playing cards, or so. That's what your most advanced, well-funded correctional facilities that are direct supervision look like in general population. That's what they look like. Bradley County is a local jail that doesn't have that kind of budget, but it's pretty good. They're not carpeted; those are concrete floors, but they're painted and they're waxed and it's made to be as nice as it can for sort of a rough finish. This is by no means, for those people that don't know that are listening to my voice, this is by no means a country club. This is not where you want to be. It is not. Because no matter how pretty you make the day room, even if it looks like the Cleveland Public Library, you walk over to the door and it doesn't open. You know what I mean? And that becomes the first switch that you have to make in maybe the minds of a correction officer, is that all of those, it doesn't require cold and dirty and mean for it to be prison. The only thing it takes for some place to become prison is you can't leave. That's all it takes.
It's a blues song right there.
Your communication with your family is greatly restricted. The stress of what's going on outside that you have zero control over is prison almost in itself to a grown man with a family. So, anyways.
You can't anyways that. You can't anyways that. I had you
Anyways,
right in your wheelhouse,
if you haven't
man.
noticed, anyways, that's what I say when I could probably just keep going, but I'll get further and further and further and further from where we are.
Seth even brought it up. Man, Matt really is trying to debate you. He really does want to create some sort of
I
conflict.
don't think I'm trying very hard.
You're not, and that's what he said. But watch this. I have changed, and I forgot to tell my wife. You know, we've talked about the word fine before, and you use it all the time.
I've noticed another one I use all the time.
Hold on. Don't distract me. Hold on. Because I ran into some trouble because I didn't communicate well with my wife.
Ruh-roh.
I volunteered to step in some space to do her a favor.
Okay.
We'll just keep it vague.
Okay.
One step. I'd rather you do it this way. I'm just trying to volunteer. In the end, I'm going to make this long story short. It's not even that long, but here it comes. She said something to me, and I said, nah, that's completely fine. And she said these words immediately. You hate the word fine. But it was too late. I had dug myself too deep to say, well, Matt uses it all the time, and as long as I put a clarifier in front of fine, then it means something different for me now. Because if I say, yeah, it's totally fine, or that's completely fine, like I'm good with that phrase.
And if your tone has a lot to do with
But if you
this,
hear me say, that's fine, yeah, you're right. Because that's me communicating like, nah, it's not really fine. But if it's completely fine or totally fine, and I said, oh, yeah, that's completely fine. You hate the word fine, because she has heard me say that so many times. You hate the word fine, and I have said that so many times. But I really have converted to being okay with using fine in a sentence and actually being okay. But I didn't tell my wife, and I took my chance to be helpful, and then I wasn't helpful at all. So I kind of blame you.
well,
For getting me in a fix with my wife.
so she didn't get onto you because she hates the word. She got onto you because she knows you hate it.
I use the word that I have said numerous times that I hate, but I don't hate it anymore. And I forgot to tell her. Did you follow all that?
Yeah.
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 I still haven't told her that. I'm telling you this.
Okay.
I haven't returned to the situation. Like, we're good. It wasn't that big of a deal.
But you were using it genuinely.
I was.
You didn't mean something
And
else.
I haven't used it genuinely in 20 years.
Yeah,
I snuck it on her.
I don't think I use it unless I really do mean it.
Yeah, you don't care.
Because
You-
a lot
you
of
mean it.
times
It's fine.
it's someone saying,
We've
hey,
had this conversation before.
hey, is this okay? And my mind is literally going, is this okay? And I arrive at the place, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I know. That's how I've been. You have converted me.
Oh, okay.
I don't change my mind off it. Now come back to.
Now, if I said to my lady, how are you feeling? And she said, fine. Yeah, I hate that word too in that context.
Because you're talking tone.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But you've been wanting to debate me and change my mind through debate, but you didn't have to. You have subtly seeped into my subconscious, changed this, and I forgot to tell Sarah, and I got myself in a fix.
It's leadership, man. I'm strong.
Yeah, but I'm also blaming you. So
Okay, I'll take it. Sorry, Sarah.
3 more, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with this list. Leavenworth.
Leavenworth, that falls right in there with the Sing Sings and the Rikers Island. That is places I've heard of. Don't know a whole lot about it.
But you do know that's that's military prison. Leavenworth, Kansas.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you get court-martialed, you get sentenced, you're going to Leavenworth. Huh. Okay. Pelican Bay.
I've heard those words.
Okay. And the last one, and I don't even know what this is, but it made the bottom of my list. ADX Florence.
As in Florence, Italy?
Buddy, it could be Florence, South Carolina for all I know. You ain't got nothing?
No, I got nothing.
Because this says prisons, Matt, class collaboration.
Okay.
In the middle of it, it also says blues songs could be created. So just go with me on this.
Yeah, I've done a prison song project before.
Yeah, it may be time to do another one. But I am going to bring this back to you with, or where I'm going to give you this list and you pick a couple. I'll do some homework and like we'll walk through some stuff because I mean, like I got an education today, and there's some folks who are listening, and I know a few times they were like, "Oh," and that's all I'm looking for in my teaching life.
Yeah.
Is that we can come across some things that's just like, "Huh," because your life experiences are different than my life experiences for sure. From being that guy in the pod to using the word fine for so long that no one questions you. But today, that was fun. I appreciate the lesson. That's all I got.
I like it, man. In all of my, what was it a kid said to me the other day? Because the SRO had come into class and we were telling stories, and then I did that whole thing where I was like, I used to buy drugs at this house, and it hit me that I haven't had this conversation with these kids, and I've got
That you've gone undercover.
I've got multiple kids that are like, you what? So I have to tell some stories.
Yes,
and
as you do.
Someone was like, "God, your career is it's like criminal justice class," and I was like, "It kind of is.
It is.
Kind of is. I got to
We
do
got to keep
a
drawing
little,
this out of you.
just a little bit of everything." And but I said that to say, I never want to go back, and Lord, I hope that I never have to go back to working in corrections.
You're not going back to the pod?
I never want to go back to the pod. I won't say I never will.
You don't want to go back undercover?
I don't want to. I don't want to do any of those things.
You don't want to go back to being an SRO?
No, I don't think. I mean, I have the ability to do probably any of those. I could get done pretty quick. But corrections wise, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back working in a jail facility. But it's kind of when I think about those things all together, that's kind of where my heart was. Like I did.
For sure.
I learned so much about the world in a jail.
Did you learn about yourself as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. And you go 20 years old, and I've said this before. I don't think I've said it on the podcast, but I'm 20. I didn't go traditional. I didn't go to a university. I went at 20 years old to work in the Bradley County Jail, and I received an education that I honestly believe I could not have received anywhere else.
No classroom?
No classroom.
No classroom. No textbook?
No.
No YouTube video?
No.
Such is life. There's our call to action today.
I remember YouTube was a brand new thing then.
Keep reading. Keep listening. Keep watching. But like some lessons just have to be experienced. For better or for worse in the moment is usually something can be gleaned for the positive as we look back. Maybe we reflect upon such things. Experience, man. You've got it.
I guess so.
Way to deflect. Good job. That was consistent.
All right, man. We press and pause.
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
All right. Next time, folks.